come into a comfortable seated position. You can be sitting in a chair or on the ground. If your knees are up here, I want you to take blankets or pillows and sit on them. If your knees are still higher than your hips, I want you to put some pillows underneath each of your knees so that your inner thighs are not getting overstretched. Once you've set yourself up, start feeling grounded. Feel gravity and get settled in. Close your eyes and feel how you're feeling right now. Set an intention for your practice today. Let's take our hands before our heart and Om 3 times. Inhale deeply. Om. Inhale. Om. Inhale. Om. Let's move our hands to our belly and do a little chant, breathing into the belly. So it's Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo, O-N-G. Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo. Inhale. Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo. Inhale. Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo. Place your hands on your knees, and we're going to start with a spinal warm up. So we're going to inhale forward, coming over the right hip, coming through the center, over to the left, and then exhale back. Inhaling forward, exhale back, inhale forward, we're moving very slowly. We're feeling side stretch along the side. Here we're getting a little ab work. Now we're stretching the other side. And here we're stretching the back. Let's do 3 more. Still moving very slowly. One more. Once we get over our right hip, we're going to go the other way. So moving back. So as I do this, my sits bone is actually coming up off the ground. Now this sits bone is up. Now both are on the ground. Now the right one is up. Check to make sure you're moving very slowly. And see if you're starting to get a little bit more flexibility as you move. Let's do 3 more. One more. Come to the center. We're going to now rock on our pelvis back and forth. I'll come to the side so you can see what it looks like. So I'm pushing forward with my lower back, pushing to a little arch, and then I'm letting my lower back round. So the abs are working here. It's like a little seated crunch. The abs are pushing out, the belly button, and then pushing back. If you put your hand on your abs, you should feel a little crunch here. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Your abs should be working pretty hard to make this happen. The upper body is still. Now we're going to move it into the upper body. So we're moving forward with our chest and then rounding our thoracic. So getting a lot of movement in the thoracic spine. Keeping your chin still. Let that go. We're going to take our hands in front of our shoulders, making sure your shoulders are completely released and your elbows are in a straight line. So between your 2 elbows, you have a straight line between them. So you're not like this or not like that. And we are going to inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Closing your eyes. Again, move slowly as you need to so you don't injure yourself. Let's go ahead and rest our hands on our knees and just feel the change that we've made. We're going to now do shoulder shrugs. So we're going to lift our shoulders very slowly at the count of 5. We're going to squeeze the top for the count of 5 and then lower 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, lower for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, hold, hold. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 3, 4, 5, and lower for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look over your left shoulder as far as you can. Take your right hand onto your right cheek. Push, and then slowly turn your head towards the right, looking over your right shoulder. Now take your left hand to your left cheek, push on it, and then slowly turn your head towards the left. Let's do 3 more. Push on your cheek, turn to the right. Take your left hand to the left cheek, push, push, push. 2 more. Right hand, right cheek, push, push, push. Moving slowly. See if you're getting to look further and further. Left hand, left cheek. Turn, turn, turn. And 1 more. Push, push, push on your right hand. And then back the other way. Let's take our right hand right above our right ear and bring that ear down and resist with the palm of your hand. So your nose is facing forward and you're pushing into your right hand. Let's let that go. Let that hand down. Take your left hand right above your left ear, keeping your nose pointed forward. Push into your left hand. Let that go. Let's take our hands, clasp, put them behind your head and push into your hands. Let that go. Let her put our palms onto our forehead, push down into our palms. Two more breaths. Let that go. Put your hands on your knees and just check in with how you're feeling. You can move your shoulders around a little, your neck. We're going to now do Ego Eradicator. So we're going to be breathing in and out through the nose, and we have an even inhale and exhale. Your hands, you can check to make sure it's nice and even. And this is a great ab workout, and it's a great arm workout. So we're going to stretch our arms up, fold our fingers in, close the eyes, and go. 3 minutes. Keeping your mental focus at your abs. Notice any mental chatter that comes up while you're doing this. Your elbows are straight. Your focus is in your belly. Let's take our thumbs together over our head. Don't look, just feel, and take a deep breath and squeeze your pelvic floor up to your top of your spine. Exhale, inhale deeply, squeeze up. Let's do one more deep breath through the nose, squeezing. Lower your hands very slowly, keeping your eyes shut, and just rest and feel your energy. All right, let's move off of whatever cushions or other things we've been sitting on. If we've been sitting in a chair, let's come into our tabletop position. So bringing our hands directly under the shoulders. Check your alignment. Your knees should be directly under your hips. If you need any cushion under your knees, go ahead and get that now. And once you have gotten yourself all set up, we are going to do some cat-cow. So we're going to push our butt back, tucking our tailbone up, and bringing a U shape into our spine, and our head will lift. This is our inhale position. And then we're going to drop our head slowly, looking down to look at our knees. And we're going to push up in the middle of the back. And then we're going to pull our tailbone in, pushing our butt forward. This is our exhale position. We're going to reverse it. So we start with the tailbone, pushing the butt up. And then bring our head up slowly. Inhale. And then slowly let the head drop. Bringing our butt under. So we have a big arch in our back, big mountain shape. And then reverse. We're articulating the entire spine, strengthening the abs. We're pushing into the ground. So we're also strengthening the arms, so dropping the head, bringing the tailbone under, pushing hard. So we want to push into the thoracic to get a nice strong stretch between our shoulder blades, and then slowly lift the head, untucking the pelvis. Let's do 3 more. So moving with the breath very slowly, dropping the head, pushing the butt forward, pushing hard between the shoulder blades up, untucking the pelvis, slowly moving the head up. So when in this position, we should feel a nice stretch in our abs, tucking the pelvis under, dropping the head, pushing between our shoulder blades, strengthening arms. Inhale up, untucking the pelvis, bringing the head up. Let's do 1 more. Tilting our pelvis under, dropping our head, pushing, and then come into a neutral spine. So check our hands, make sure they're still under our shoulders. Now we're going to raise the left leg. So the left leg will stretch out, press into it first. So see how there's a nice long straight line between my head and my foot. So there's no like sloping or bending. It's a nice straight line. So just start off by pushing firmly into the heel, and this is going to give us a nice hamstring stretch. And then slowly lift the right leg up, and notice that my hips are completely flat. If I was to put a cup of tea right in the middle, right above my tailbone, the tea would stay straight. The tea would not be flipping over this way or flipping over that way. So we want to keep the sacral area just completely flat so that our hips are on the same plane. So stretching through the leg. Let's bring that knee down and bring the left leg up. So we're going to start with a stretch, putting your toes on the ground, stretching firmly into the heel. This is giving us a nice hamstring stretch. So let's make sure our hands are still right under our shoulders. Our head is pushing forward, and we're pushing back into our heel. Breathing through the nose. And let's lift that left leg. Again, checking to make sure your hips are not falling in one direction or the other. Bringing that heel down. Lift the right leg back up with the breath. And bringing it down. Let's just go ahead and breathe with our breath at our own pace. Lifting the left leg up. So this whole movement is very mindful so that we can make sure we're engaging all of the abdomen muscles, the leg muscles, the thigh muscles, and the hamstrings. Bringing up the right leg. We want to count every single movement to count. Inhaling the leg up. The left leg now. Exhale the leg down. So the breath is coming out as I move my leg down, so that when the knee touches, I'm out of breath. And as I start inhaling, I'm lifting the right leg. Lowering the leg. Lifting the left leg. Lowering the left leg. Inhaling the right. We are now going to add in arms. So we are going to lift our left arm straight, and then we're going to lift our right leg. And we're going to stretch, and then we're going to set them both down slowly. And we're going to lift our right arm, And then our left leg. And lower them down. Now we're going to move with our breath and do this movement on each side. So it's a balance plus a strengthening movement. And then exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And as you do this, ensure the integrity of your hips, that your hips are not slumping or falling. You want to keep that teacup completely straight on your legs. So we're strengthening the upper body and the lower body and building balance. This is literally the best exercise ever. Now we're going to do a twist. So we are going to reach the right arm under the left side body and come through. Inhale up. We're going to do it on the other side. So we're going to take the left arm underneath the body. Inhale up. Exhale. So this is what building strength in our side body. Now we're going to bring the right leg forward and reach the right arm up into the sky. So this is a twist. Let's do the other side. So bringing the right arm down, slowly bring that right leg back, bring the left leg forward, planting your right hand on the ground, reach up with your left hand. So you can feel that there's a lot of the side plank energy in this twist. So you're building strength in your shoulders and in the side of your body, plus getting a nice psoas opening. Let's bring the arm down. And now we are going to come into a plank. So bring your right leg back, bring your left leg back. And what we're going to do is push between our shoulder blades and really engage the thoracic spine. So I don't want to see this kind of thing going on. We're firmly pushing into our hands and pushing into the space between our shoulder blades. And if you want to really, really feel this, you can get something like a blanket or a pillow or even a book and bring that. So I'm grabbing a book, bring that right on your back, lay it between your shoulder blades, push your hands down, bring your right leg back, your left leg, and then push into the book. So you can really get a little bit of feeling right there. There's a lot of tendency in plank to sort of sag between the shoulders, and this is actually causing a lot of shoulder stress. So you want to push into the thoracic. And that book can help you feel where that is. So now we're going to take our right leg forward between our hands, and we're going to do that same exact twist. But before we do that, let's just go ahead and feel this stretch. So I'm feeling it all in my psoas, in the front of my thigh. Now let's reach up with the right hand, firmly planting and stacking our shoulders over the wrist. So you can use a mirror or something to make sure that your alignment looks good. Keeping a nice straight right angle in this right knee, and that this knee is directly over the ankle. Pushing firmly into the heel. There should be a nice straight leg in the back. There's no bent leg. Let's breathe. Let's bring the right hand down. Step the right foot back to meet the left. And breathe into your plank. Again, you don't want your butt up, you don't want your butt down. You want to have a nice straight line. Let's bring the left foot up to meet the hands and breathe here, feeling a nice stretch and everything. And push firmly into that right heel. Keep the leg nice and straight. Again, we have a right angle in the front leg. The knee is directly over the ankle. Let's firmly plant ourselves on the right hand and reach up to the left. Check your alignment. You want your hand directly over your shoulder, directly over the lower shoulder, directly over the wrist. Push into the heel. And breathe. Loosen your jaw if you feel like you're tightening it. Let's take the left hand down, push back into a plank. So in our plank, we want to push our elbows so that the line of the inner elbow is pointing forward. So we can either be like this, which is very weak, or we can be like this, so our elbows are facing forward, those lines. So that's how we want to feel when we're in a plank pose. Now in our plank, we are going to lift our right leg. So this is very similar to what we were doing in the table pose, and then lower the right leg and lift the left leg and lower the left leg. Lift the right leg. We're moving with the breath. Exhale, moving mindfully, and we're still pushing between our shoulder blades. If this is just too much for you right now, you can bring your knees down and come back to the lifting of the legs this way. Let's do 2 more on each side. All right, let's bring the knees down. And we're going to work on our side plank. So firmly plant yourself over your right ankle or wrist. Take your left leg out. Set the foot so that the whole sole is touching the mat. bring your knee directly under your hip. And again, we're going to have the stacking of the shoulders right above the wrist. So I can see that my wrist is not exactly. And so I'm adjusting, and then I'm reaching up with the left hand, pushing into the ground with my foot that's laying on the mat. So this is a modified side plank, and this is going to start building strength in the side body. And if you feel like you're strong enough and ready, you can bring this leg that's on the bottom to meet the other leg. Now, waists can go wrong. You can drop your hips. You want to push your hips up as if there's a fire roaring right there. That's going to get you. You can move your arm overhead, stacking it up. Let's go ahead and bring the left arm down and do the other side. I'm going to switch directions so you can see me still. So bring your hands back under our shoulders. Extend the right leg, firmly planting that foot onto the mat. Then firmly plant the left arm or that left wrist, reaching up with the hand and stacking, making sure the alignment is all correct. So I'm actively pushing into this foot onto the ground and breathing. If you're feeling up to it, you can take this lower foot out to meet, but don't let the integrity of the pose fail. Make sure you're keeping those hips up. And this is strengthening your side body here. Every day, you're going to get stronger. Let's do 3 more breaths through the nose, making sure that we're loose in the jaw. Bringing the right hand down, bringing the legs under. And let's come to sit. We are going to open up the hamstrings. If you have a strap, which I highly recommend, you will use this. If you don't have a strap, you're going to take your hands behind the back of your thigh and drop the leg on the ground. And then push your thigh into your hands and drop your head. If you have a strap, then you'll be pushing your foot into the strap. So it's the same exact movement. The leg on the ground is actually really critical in this pose. You want to just not let it like hang out, bend. You want to push it firmly. Pretend like you're standing on the wall that is down from you. So you're pushing into that heel. You're letting this thigh bone push into the ground. This is not a relaxing pose. This is a very challenging pose. And you're not trying to bring your foot to your face. You're pushing your foot into the strap. So your arms are getting a nice stretch. Let's take the strap into the right hand and drop the leg open. And as we're dropping it, we're going to be pushing our heel up towards the ceiling and our toes down towards the ground. We'll stretch out the left hand out and only open the leg as far as feels safe for your inner thigh. So if you don't have a strap, basically you're supporting your hand, your arm with your hand, or your leg with your hand. And now let's bring the leg across the other direction. So wrap your hand in the strap and then drop your foot this way. And again, what you're trying to do is bring the heel to the ceiling and the toes toward the ground. And this stretches out the psoas even more. So it doesn't really matter how far you get. You can get a lot of stretch. Stretch out the right arm along the ground. And look over your right hand. And if you don't have a strap, this looks like you're supporting your leg with your hand. At this point, if you want to go further with your twist, you can drop that leg further as long as it feels safe on your back. You're not overstretching anything. So I actually have a wall right here, which feels really nice to support my foot on. Let's bring the leg back up. Bring the knee in. And let's do a nose to the knee. You can rock the knee back and forth, opening up all the hip flexors. All right, let's let that leg come down. Bring the left leg up. Wrap your hands in the strap. Once you get your leg set up, then let the bent leg go straight. And again, remember, we're pushing into both feet firmly. So that the heel on the ground is really pushing strongly, and you're pressing into the strap with your other foot. Now let's take the strap into our left hand. I have to move because I'm next to a wall. And then open the leg to the left, only to where it feels safe. Don't overstretch the inner thigh. Reaching your right hand open. Again, you're pushing your heel towards the ceiling and your toes towards the ground, which gives you even more of a stretch. Raising the leg slowly, using the muscle of the leg without helping with the arms. Let's take the strap into the right hand and drop the foot just a little bit. We're going to move the heel towards the ceiling and the toes towards the ground. Stretch the left arm up and look over your left hand. As you feel ready, you can drop that leg open, or close, I should say, into a twist. Looking over the left hand. lift the leg with the muscle of the leg, so don't help with the hand. Bring it all the way up and let that strap go, and take your hands around your shin. Bring the knee in, knee to nose, and let's move the hip back and forth, loosening all of the nice tight muscles in the hip. Let's go ahead and stretch our legs out. Windshield wiper the feet. Stretch the arms overhead. And let's do stretch pose. So stretch pose is when we do the breath of fire, like earlier. So in and out through the nose. We're going to lift our feet off the ground, and we're going to reach our arms. And we're going to do this for 20 seconds. Go. So my abs are shaking, and that's normal. And rest. Let everything go and just feel gravity. Feel how your energy has changed. And ready, set, lift legs, arms, and let's go again for 20 seconds. And rest. We're going to do one more ab thing. I'm lifting the right arm and the left arm together. Lowering, lifting the right leg and the left arm. Lower. Lift. I want you to move very slowly here. Let's do two more. Two. One. Let everything drop. Rest. We're going to now do bridge pose. So bring your feet near your hips. If you have a tight lower back, you can move your feet a little bit farther away from your fingertips. If your back feels fine today, you can bring your fingertips so that they can touch the heels. And we're going to push into the ground with our feet, and that is going to lift our butt. So we're inhaling up. Once we get up, we're going to take our hands clasped and push hard into our lower back. So now we're working our core in a different direction. So this should feel a lot of stretch in your thighs and even in your chest. Let's do two more deep breaths and then release. Lowering down one vertebra at a time. Once you're down, rest. And we're going to go again. So pushing firmly into the feet, raising our hips off the ground. Raising your hips. You're really pushing right here into these hip points, raising them. Clasp your hands underneath. You can walk your shoulder blades in towards each other and push up. 3 deep breaths. Lower down very slowly, rolling down from the top of your spine all the way down. Rest for a moment. Check in how your body's feeling right now. Let's do a happy baby pose. So we take our right hand to our right foot, grabbing on the outside of the foot. Left hand goes to the left foot, and then we rock back and forth. So this is a great little spinal release after all the hard work we've done. If you bring your feet more towards your bum, you can massage your sacral and your glutes. Bringing the right above your knees, you'll massage the mid-back, lumbar. And then bringing them up overhead, near your overhead, you're going to massage the thoracic area. Using gravity to massage your back. And let's take the roll this way. So we're touching our toes overhead and below us. If this is just not happening, you can just do a smaller roll like this, and over time you can increase your flexibility. Once you feel like you've got enough spinal flexion and release, you can go ahead and come into your Shavasana. So I recommend putting something under your head. Give yourself a little pillow. Stretch out and feel gravity pulling you down to the ground. Anytime you work out, whether it's weights or any other kind of physical activity, it's always important to rest. It allows the adrenaline to drain out of our bodies and our muscles to start healing. Start deepening your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll onto your right side. And stay here for another 30 seconds and just thank yourself for making the time today to do this practice. Memorize this feeling. And let it motivate you to come back to your mat tomorrow. Push yourself up into a comfortable seated pose again. If you need to make a lot of props to feel really safe and secure, go ahead. If you want to come into a chair, let's do 5 ohms together. Inhale. Om. 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 Inhale. Om. Check in with your intention from at the beginning of the practice. Let's do a Sat Nam together. Sat Nam. Namaste.